Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of I do for the while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. It's a backroom review, so there's a good chance that it's ramen related. But, I mean, you've already seen the title card, but you did it. But anyway, folks, it is a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you, sometimes of the ramen variety. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am in my back room. And since I'm in my back room, that means I have my Peter Can Thunder poster behind me. I don't have any of the other accompanying things that I used to have with the Marvel figures or the crappy old ladder offices. I still have them. They're just in another room. Because they're, in another room, serving, similar purpose in another room. But aside from that, I'm also doing something else. I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I like to highlight super cool shirt. So what super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my Corbin's Breed shirt. See, it's got like bat, and then there's like eyes, and it's the whole thing. Fuck is Corbin's Breed? Corbin's Breed is an industrial metal band, I believe from New England. I think that's what the lead singer said. I saw these guys. They were one of the opening bands for a band called Cyclone 9 that I saw a few days ago at the time I'm doing this. And I'd never heard of them before. I did not know what to expect, but they were fucking fantastic. Like, it's one of those things when they first got up on stage, I think myself along with the rest of the crowd was kind of like, okay, what's this gonna be? But they actually were really fucking good. Like, they tore it the fuck up, and I can definitely say that, the crowd left impressed. When they left, a lot of people, headed over to their merch section. Clearly. And just extremely nice guys, too. I got to meet them after the show. I even got a couple pictures with them. Very nice guys. The lead singer and the bassist were both a little bit inebriated by that point, so they were a little bit extra happy, but good folks, man. Good folks. I actually got some videos of their performance on this channel. I have an entire playlist of just my concert stuff. I'm just saying. But anyway, speaking of playlists, I also have an entire playlist of ramen reviews, which is just reviews of instant noodle stuff that I tried out. And, well, folks, I've got a new one to add to it, because what are we reviewing today? Boom, it's this! It is, I'm going to say Daebak, Daebak, Daebak Ghost Pepper Spicy Chicken Flavor Daring Dry Black Noodles. Flamin' Spicy Madness. Madness! Scoville Heat Unit for peppers. Ghost Pepper, of course, is at 1 million. For a while, it was the hottest pepper in the world. It has since been replaced by Carolina Reaper and now Reaper X. So I guess it's the third-ish. So yes, this is like one of those like comically spicy noodles that are available. It was a thing online a number of years ago with the Korean spicy ones. I actually reviewed those, by the way. They are in my ramen reviews playlist. But since then, they've just been upgrading it and doing stuff. And so, yeah, these. Let's see. I was going to use my chopsticks, because I have chopsticks, because I'm that guy. But they gave me a little fork. So I'm going to, let's go ahead and get a little thing for the thumbnail. You can see they're all black and scary. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna give these a go. Hopefully they're tasty as well as super spicy. I'm not really looking at these as a challenge so much as just wanted some spicy noodles. So let's give it a go. And if need be, I have some Gatorade. Find out how spicy you are. Yeah, that's that ghost pepper heat right there. Oh, how I've missed you. Whoo. Alright. Well, the heat level is It's definitely spicier than the Korean noodles that were like the big challenge a few years ago. These are hitting with ghost pepper heat. So if you've never had a ghost pepper, because you're a sane person, it is for myself. It's probably the hottest pepper that I actually like to eat, um, because they are very hot. Clearly, but they're also very tasty. They have a lot of flavor. They almost have like a barbecue kind of flavor to them when they're put in like most sauces and stuff. And oh yeah, the thing with ghost pepper heat is that it builds. It starts off relatively minor, and so you just get a lot of flavor. Once you get past that, though, then it just builds, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds. And well, it's not as obnoxious as some other ones. It is definitely properly hot. Um, to describe it, I mean, right now, obviously, a little bit difficult to breathe, just because I've got all this heat in my mouth, so I'm kind of trying to mitigate it. Mostly, the heat is underneath my tongue, which is very unpleasant. That is actually probably the worst. The two worst things for me are when you get the heat like on and under your tongue, and when you get it on your lips. That's when it's really hard to deal with. When it's more just kind of around your mouth, I personally find it pretty easy to deal with. But when you start getting it in those areas, it's hard because it's actually hard to like talk and do anything else. Um, so these are hot. They are certainly not the. Are they the hottest noodles I've had? Maybe. They are certainly in contention. I can't think of any off the top of my head that I would say have been outright hotter, but I have had some other very spicy noodles. Uh, these, though, I will say, especially because they are putting the ghost pepper heat first, that does give them a pretty unique distinction for me. I don't think I've ever had any noodles, and I'm sure they're out there, but this is my first experience with ghost pepper noodles. Um, they're, I mean, they're definitely very hot. They are the type of thing where you wouldn't want to just chow down on it. Whereas, like with the Korean spicy noodles, I actually found those really tasty. And while, yes, they were hot, I was perfectly fine with just eating them in one sitting without much of a problem. With these, I do intend to finish them because I bought them. I might as well. But there's no denying that it's probably going to be a little bit of a struggle, especially because I don't have any milk or anything. I just have some Gatorade and shit. But aside from that, let's go back in for another helping. The noodles themselves are a nice consistency. These are one of those cup of noodles things where you go over there, you pour the water in, you heat it up, then you actually drain the water out, then you go over there and you pour the flavor packet onto the noodles. I guess that they do that for these type of things specifically so that they're not being diluted, so that you're more just getting that heat and that flavor. But the noodles themselves are nice, actually. I mean, they're a little terrifying, but like they eat nicely. And in terms of the flavor, I mean, really, you're not getting much from the noodles. It is pretty much just the sauce and the seasoning, which for me is actually not too bad because again, I like ghost peppers. I like ghost pepper flavor. So they have sort of a barbecue noodle kind of taste, and then obviously the heat. I mean, you know what? Look, two questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Probably not, and probably not. But here's the thing. They're not bad. And I can deal with them. But they do cross that line into being comically hot. They are like a challenge, that type of thing. Whereas comparatively, like sriracha ramen, again, even like the excuse me, even like the Korean ramen, I think that those are actually perfectly fine to just eat. They are spicy, but they're pretty manageable. This crosses over that. This would be something I would almost like add to a dish if I wanted some extra oomph. But just by itself, it's a bit too spicy for me. I'll be the first person to admit. But they do actually taste pretty good. If I'm recommending them to people, I mean, just to eat, because no. If you want to go over there and give yourself a little bit of a challenge, sure. I mean, these are kind of fun. The whole ramen noodle challenge thing, it's obviously, no longer in the zeitgeist. Uh, but if you're just that type of person where you like to challenge yourself, the thing is, there's definitely way more challenging challenges out there in terms of food stuff at this point. I'm not going to say otherwise, but if you just want to go over there, try out some spicy ramen that, again, at least I think is probably spicier than the Korean stuff that they had. Although I know they've been upping the spice on that as years have gone by because they've kind of just leaned into it. But yeah, just to eat, not really. Anyway, why do I keep putting 5 things before I get out of here? Have a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, every so truly extra spicy tastic rest of your life. Because who doesn't enjoy some spice? It hurts so good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. Life can be frustrating and stressful and bullshit. And my mouth is hard and it's hard to talk. But when we deal with situations in our life that are stressful, frustrating, etc., take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're a big, spicy person challenge. That's your thing. You're like, all the spice for me. I mean, go ahead, go at it, do it. But just be careful with that stuff, man. That stuff can wreck out your insides as time goes by. So, everything in moderation, folks. But if you do, and if you've got any interesting spicy challenges, food challenges, hey, hit me up in the comments and be like, hey, Brandon, you should try the spicy walnut challenge. It'll fuck up your head for days. I mean, I could try it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe. I'm getting older. But, or conversely, maybe, again, maybe just be moderate with the spicy stuff. I can't tell anybody, chances are if you're of a certain age, I can't tell you anything. I'm not going to try. Because back when I was that age, I did that stuff too. And now that I'm older, I still occasionally do it, so I'm being a big old hypocrite. Bye!